Yo everyone, welcome back to another Pokemon Anime Weekly. Today's one's a little different.
What do you mean by that?
As I'll be featuring comments you guys have asked me in the community tab. So let's get to it. What do you think of the Pokemon TV app leaving soon? The comment is by Big Bad Boy 28. So yeah, if you haven't heard already, and I can't believe I'm saying it, Pokemon TV is shutting down.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
And literally, as of January 8th, if you haven't downloaded it prior, it's already gone. I talked more about this in my newest video on the end of Pokemon TV. It's wild to me that Pokemon out of nowhere got rid of the easiest way for fans to just watch the Pokemon anime and just enjoy a good episode. But I guess, what can you do? Do you think that Pokemon Black and White was the right series for Team Rocket to get an evil team arc? Or do you think Sun and Moon should have done another evil team arc with Team Rocket? The post is by PokeWho MP5KW. Looking back at it now, there was definitely no point of Team Rocket getting a villain arc in Unova. I feel like they should have given all of that role to Team Plasma, truly fleshed them out right at the beginning of the series and allow for the two versions to appear, OG Team Plasma and Neo Team Plasma. If everyone knew the plans of Sun and Moon back in 2010, then it just makes perfect sense for Team Rocket to have gotten the villain arc in Sun and Moon. And my reasons for this is obviously Team Rainbow Rocket. Just imagine the Rocket trio paired up with the past villain leaders all against Ash. That would have been crazy. What Terra type do you think a Meteor Cerulege will be? The comment is by WolfHC9RQ. For those who do not know, at the end of Horizons episode 34, the explorer's butler Hamber gifted Amiphio the excelling power of terrestrialization. In Amiphio's recent fight with Freed, he came off short due to him not having terrestrialization. So, when it comes to what Terra type I think Amiphio's Cerulege will get, the obvious answer would be to give it Terra Ghost or Terra Fire for that sweet same type bonus or stat. But I have another avenue. I think Amiphio will get Terra Dark to cancel out Freed's Terra type with his Charizard, which is also Terra Dark. Cerulege has access to Night Slash, which is a Dark type move. And with it being weak to Dark type moves, this chosen Terra type would be a defensive choice to give him the upper hand and surprise in his next Freed battle, because I'm sure that match is gonna come down to terrestrialization. Ash wouldn't have beat Cynthia if she had used Mega Evolution. Brock is the strongest because of his Blissey, and Black and White has a decently good anime. The comment is by Chaos King Donovan. Now, this is a statement I see all the time, that Cynthia would have beat Ash if she had used Mega Evolution. But I feel like Aaron forgets the most important reason as to why she didn't use it. The entire battle of Ash versus Cynthia, Ash was expecting Cynthia to bring out Mega Garchomp. He didn't know when or which part of the battle was going to appear, but he knew at some point he would have to deal with the Tyrant. However, because of this 100% guarantee by Ash and even us as the audience, Cynthia decided to use it to her advantage by going with Dynamax to catch everyone off guard, in which worked because no one saw it coming, not even Ash, which put him at a disadvantage, and Cynthia tried to capitalize off it. We all know that Cynthia isn't one to just use overwhelming power and power straight to victory. She's a strategist and a mind game player, using different high level strategies and plays to catch the opponent off guard and always be one step ahead. It's the sole reason as to why she was able to take out Ash's ace Pikachu in the earliest part of the battle, because that's what she's good at. And no, I'm not saying that Cynthia made the best decision possible by going with Dynamax instead of Mega Evolution, but she wanted to put herself in the best position to win by utilizing the fact of the unexpected and going with something no one saw coming, and I very much respect it. As a fanbase, I think we can all collectively agree that Mega Garchomp obviously should have been the choice to go with it, especially against the champion killer Ash Ketchum himself. Cynthia at her full power would have given Ash a proper run for his money, but regardless, the result would have still been the same. Ash always finds a way to win, and we all know that. Now for Brock's Blissey, I'm not going to say that statement is false, but I'm also not going to say it's true. I'll leave that one up to the rest of you. In terms of Black and White having a decently good anime, yes it is. Black and White certainly gets a lot more hate than it deserves. Here's a question that I've been meaning to ask you. Do you think that Gibeon, who is the leader of the explorers, is actually Lucius? Because in the episode where Amiphio and the Rising Volt tacklers engage with Rayquaza, and after Amiphio fails to do any damage and goes back and trains with Hamba, there's a sequence that Gibeon says he can't wait to gather all the 6 heroes and go to Rakua with them and rest. Sorry for the long question, buddy, but do you think that it's possible that Gibeon is Lucius? And the post is by Dardanger Kinney 1996. Let me clarify by saying, guys, don't worry about the long questions. I absolutely love to read them. Okay, this is a great question. I think that the chances Gibeon, the leader of the explorers, is actually Lucius are very high. And hear me out. In his talk with Amiphio, Gibeon states how Terapagos and Rayquaza are the keys to my Rakua. Rakua is an anime exclusive location that is currently unknown. However, due to recent information from Lico's family book, we know it's a paradise by the ancient adventurer Lucius, who lived there happily with its friends, the 6 heroes. Again, Gibeon refers to Rakua as my Rakua. This could mean obviously that he's saying, oh, he's gonna get in the future because it's his goal, but I think he might also be saying it as that he's Lucius himself, which I believe could make for a massive plot twist in the final climax of the series. Just imagine it. So, do I think that Gibeon is Lucius? To be on the safe side, as of right now, I'm gonna say there's a 50-50 chance. Do you think the next anime will be a travel series or a traditional one like Diamond and Pearl and X and Y? The comment is by AuraZora 9743. The more and more I think about it, I feel like the new generations of the Pokemon anime, Pokemon Journeys and Horizons are shifting away from the traditional travel around one region from point A to B in favor of allowing characters to go wherever they want. And that just comes down to limitation. The past series would be focused in a certain region, forcing everything plot-wise to revolve around that location. But now, writers don't have to deal with all that stress and can have more creative freedom, allowing the story to go wherever in the Pokemon world. Would I love the next series to be in the traditional format? Yes! Yes! But do I think it will happen? Sadly not. Do you think that if Black and White, the games, hadn't been a soft reboot of sorts, would the anime have continued on properly after Diamond and Pearl, rather than the soft rebooting as well? Would Ash have continued to bring in his reserves towards the end of each series? I like to think so. The comment is by Brockboy. That's a good question. Going off that logic, I feel like the continuation of Black and White would have placed Ash in a more veteran position, like AG, rather than how Black and White set him up to be a total newbie. This means most likely not having Trip as a rival, and if so, then just not having him lose to him. I would also assume he would bring back previous members, but it has to be around the Declo Islands time. As for the League, it was clear that the anime only wanted to use Pokemon found in Unova, just like the games. I think that the new, more story-driven direction the series is taking with Liko and Roy is a breath of fresh air. However, it's also sad to see my favorite part of this series has always been competitive battles and tournaments. Maybe it's partially due to me being an athlete, but when I watch series like Pokemon and Beyblade, I like seeing a developed story that focuses on things like rivalries and teamwork that reaches its climax in a tournament arc. Not to say I dislike Pokemon Horizons, I'm just sad because neither Liko nor Roy seem to be interested in competitive battling. Chances are we will not get a tournament arc with them, unless the series does something like Liko and Roy need some item for the story and find out that there's a prize to winning it from some tournament. But that's a big if, and not exactly the kind of tournament arc I want. The comment is by Running Ronin. I think Ronin couldn't have said my opinions any better. I'm all here for the more story-driven direction with the series, and it's a major aspect Horizons has over past seasons. However, personally, like Ronin says, competitive battles like gym battles and tournament arcs are stuff we'd normally see across a Pokemon anime, which aren't present at all in Horizons. And I feel like this complete push of the traditional has left me and many feeling like this series is stale or not appealing to them. And that's not because Horizons has bad storytelling or anything, because it's some of the best we've seen in the franchise. But I wholeheartedly think there needs to be more of a balance between new and old, not just all story, because what about all the fans from the last 25 years? You have to remember the old things and what brought you up, even if you're trying to tie in the new. I believe that's how you tie in the new as well as the old. And failure to do so is very evident in other reboots we've seen across the time period, like Bakugan. No, but seriously, what did they do? Hopefully, and I'm praying, Horizons will establish more battles and tournament arcs in the future. Whether or not this Rakua that Lucius was searching for either is or has something to do with Area Zero. The comment is by Eldrodino7647. I think there's a possibility that Rakua could be Area Zero. I mean, with Horizons being the Gen 9 anime, what better way to tie in the big mystery Paldea has with the big plotline of Horizons together? In this case, Rakua being Area Zero would make sense, as we know that Lucius is from an old era in time, so of course it wouldn't be called Area Zero now. But then, and more obviously, I could see it generally just being two separate locations, allowing for Area Zero to get its own arc down the line. So yeah, as of right now, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm leaning towards it more just being two separate locations. So here's my question, can Ash use Pokemon moves in one way or another? We know from the movies that humans can use Pokemon abilities, but what about Pokemon moves? Ash has deep bonds with his Pokemon, especially Pikachu, Lucario, and Greninja. The latter two are Aura Pokemon, and Ash has already become one with Greninja. And we also know that from the trio beginning that the Aura Gloves, or whatever their name is, have the ability to give an Aura wielder their aura, physically. So here's my question and discussion. Can Ash, and by extension any Aura wielder, can they use his Pokemon moves like Aura Sphere, or in Ash's case, moves like Water Shuriken and Cut from Greninja, Close Combat from Lucario, and Double Team from both of them? The comment is by Rudy Sarmiento 8700. I do hope I said your name right. This is a cool question. Okay, when it comes to Ash using Aura based moves with the Aura Gloves, I see no reason as to why Ash can't use an Aura Sphere, seeming as he wields Aura himself and shares it with certain Pokemon. But Ash using moves like Water Shuriken makes no sense, because I'm pretty sure Greninja makes those Shurikens biologically. But yeah, I 100% think Ash could use an Aura Sphere physically. I don't see why not anyways. That's all we have for today's Pokemon Anime Weekly. I love to do these, and to have your Pokemon anime theories, questions, or hot take comments featured in the next one, be sure to look out for the next community post I make on the channel, where I'll be announcing it. But let me know how you guys feel about all of today's topics down in the comments below.